stream, turn it off or you will be getting a penalty. Good spot there potentially from Lee. So going on with Jamie2503, DRS second zone past the GP2 paddock here, and we're into the start sector 3 with this triple chicane, which is quite tricky. Takes so much to the outside curve, gets over the white lines there, pushing the track limits very, very wide. You've got to be careful. We are on the lookout for that at the moment. We've got people cutting corners, extending the track. If you're in the lower divisions, don't be doing it or you will be getting penalties. It's the hotel section. Big lockup once again from Jamie2503. He's really dragging that Sauber around. Goes off the track and under the hotel, extending the circuit. Not sure if he gained any actual advantage there. Well, needless to say, it's not very good. Coming into the final corner now, Jamie2503 can't be deceived by the pit entry. Goes on the direct attack there and gets a 140.0. We saw 137s with regards to the options last night. So the GP2 guys, based off that, are very much off the pace. But living dead 69 on the prime tyres now, going through DRS zone 2 and weirdly staying close to the wall. They're trying to straighten the track, but not really getting much grip there. And you can see how much he's thrown him off the track at the chicane. Oh, he's ruined that lap. That's the lap gone.
These curves in Abu Dhabi are absolutely disastrous, as well as the bollards as well. I've had my car destroyed around.
So we got the bollards of death back here in the desert. We had them at Bahrain, and now it appears we've got them here in Abu Dhabi. MJ1 trying to cross the finish line now. Option tyres run a 38.9, a bit more reasonable, but still quite a way shy of the F1 pace. Sean Bean, meanwhile, a 39.5 on the prime tyres. That's a gap of about 6 tenths. That's about what we'd expect between the compounds, but we need to find a bit more pace these guys. They want to be competitive should they qualify to go for season next year. So let's try and find someone else who's out on the lap at the moment. Currently got XRL Fozzie, just completed the hotel section now, brushed the wall on the outside, and now we're into the final 2 corners. They're a lot shallower than they appear, and he's decided to actually box and abort the lap.
I'm on board with Jamie2503. He's locking up everywhere. He's sliding on the curves, and he's just almost hit the wall again. This is absolutely a terrible lap.
Well, I rode on board with him for the first lap, and he was in the 140s on the option tyres, so he's really got to find the pace. Oh, Rama 95 getting a little too much curve there going under the hotel, and once again on the outside, almost drifting that car. Really not carrying much pace through here, down into the high 30s, and then we've lost connection. Well, that's a total disaster. Do you want to try and get him back in?
Yeah, I'm around now.
Well, I got Connorized. He's on a second lap here. He put a 140 and he's totally caught that chicane. Didn't even get close to the racing line there. If people are doing this in this division this week, I'll be extremely disappointed. You can't keep doing that on the track or you will get penalties. For me, we need to be a lot harsher. Last week at India, the F1 division got 1 point on the driving licence for extending a lap all the time. From now on, I say we hold out the black flag. It's getting ridiculous. On the straight, Turbo Bombers is asking for a prediction for pole position and race winner. It's tricky really, because he's got quite a lot of guys with pace here. With this kind of track, it does seem Sean Bean has Connorized has to take another corner cut going into the hotel section. Really poor driving here from the Williams driver. Like I say, Sean Bean's 22, he's got a lot of pace and consistency. Living dead 69, not really shown his hand yet in qualifying. Be interested to see what he can do. No, XRL Bernie's just going through the second DRS zone now. Really looks off the pace here. Currently on aim for the 101s, 102s at the end of sector 2. He is on the prime tyres, so he's definitely going to be losing pace on the overall optimum run. But even so, that's going to be cutting quite some considerable pace behind our current pole sitter, MJI1.
With XRL Bernie as he comes towards the hotel section. He's currently on the prime tyres. It's looking a reasonable lap for him.
Until you did that, that was a bit of a mistake. That goes way too wide and it almost drifts on the curb. It's one of those corners that way, but it really catches people out. I know it's not like that in real life. The drivers just fly through like it's not even a corner. But on the game, it's one that's really hard to get right. And a 140.8. He will not be happy about that. Silver Brothers, meanwhile, reckons that it's going to be XRL Fozzie who wins. Well, he did show good pace last night in the F1 division. Ended up coming 6th place, I believe. Did a decent job. He's got a lot of reconnaissance because of that run, so he might be able to tweak his second below more just to get the ultimate pace. It's going to be a question. Jordan Kelly 69, meanwhile, that's who do I reckon is going to be promoted to F1? Sean B 22. Easy that one. He's definitely going to be one to be promoted. Behind him, could be quite tricky and quite close, but we've got Living Dead 69, who's heading into XRL Burnley. He's shot quite a lot of pace here. Let's see the start of his lap, heading into towards the first corner. Also a better run than he did last time. Still on the prime tyres here, so he's going to have less option grip. Oh, but his grip a bit too wide on the curve there. Very nearly spun that out. And Lee on the screen correcting me, saying that Fozzie actually came 5th last night. To be honest, with so few runners and riders at the end, I found it difficult to keep track of where everyone was. But he did show great pace, and it was hopefully he'll be able to transpire that here to what he considers his feature race.
He also did well out in India, getting the win and pole position as well.
Yeah, exactly. So shown that he's got a lot of pace in that car. He's got the form there. So right over, we're living at 69. And we've got Ribo's rejoined now. He disconnected, not quite sure what happened. Hopefully that will hold for the rest of the season. Now, going through the chicanes there, living at 69 gets very, very good grip on the outside of the curve into the second DRS. So once again, staying way to the left. I'm surprised he's doing that, because it's not the natural racing line. Getting on the brakes, avoid taking too much curve this time, and has a far cleaner run through this triple chicane. And then we've got this tricky 90-degree corner here, which seems to have a lot of little grip, but he's managed to find some to get himself around. So living at 69 on a much better lap here. Question is he going to be anywhere near the front of the likes of Sean B 22, or is he going to have to settle for the middle of the pack? As he goes into the hotel section, gets nicely on the curves, doesn't push too far wide. Oh, he's got the steered wide, very nearly into the wall there. Living Dead 69 just got away with that. Into the penultimate 2 corners, does a great job keeping it on the lines there, but once again aborts his lap.
The prime tyres, for me, is quite a big difference. If you don't get the right lines, you're just going to be ruining your race.
It's a tricky one to call right, as XRL Rusty has just started a lap, according to my screen. Let's roll a ball with this for a driver then from Force India. Got a bit wide in the first corner, using that curve to pull himself over there, losing quite a bit of pace into this very quick chicane, pretty much flat out with only one car in qualifying trim. And then we're into the sector one, about the 18-second mark, relatively reasonable. Clips the inside curves quite well, and we're into this tight hairpin. Takes a very wide line there, gets nowhere near the apex. In race that will go with a lot of rubber, and that will pull you off and lose a lot of grip. You can get away with it in qualifying, but it's not something we want to make a habit of.
I've just seen a Force India get 5-second lag. It was MGI1 coming around the final corner. You got 5-second lag to ruin him to start the lap as well.
That's really not what you need. I hate the lag on this. It's so frustrating for the drivers. On the screen, we've got Rice Paddy Gaming saying stuff. The sky, that's up. In the meantime, Jordan Kelly's asked, what do we think of Nikita's pace? As she has the pace, but not enough consistency. So to be honest, Jordan, I think that's the best appraisal you can give. She's someone who showed that she last week in India, prone to a lot of mistakes like that critical spin, but has got the pace to be able to fight through the pack. So definitely someone who can probably use this season as a recon, and then next season make a fight for the championship, I expect.
It's a shame she's not racing tonight. And Boyce has actually got pole position, provisional pole position at the minute.
Excellent job from Boyce. Didn't get that on the footage. But XRL Rusty went through the hotel section. Seems okay on the pace, but I'm surprised to see the gap between F1 and GP2 here. Because the F1 guys were pushing the 37s, I think. And once again, now Rusty goes into the pit. Are we getting some kind of strange corner cuts that we're not seeing on the screen here? Because these guys seem to be dropping the laps a lot. And a lot of people haven't yet set times. MGI1 running in P2, getting nice coast on the gas there through the hotel section. Quite smooth, pushed a bit too wide there, but got away with that. Seems to have quite a nice natural action on the accelerator. If he wasn't lifting off, not a bad run, but again, another one who aborts his lap.
I think I should have been 5-second lag. He got at the end of the start of the lap.
Yeah, that will compromise him quite badly. Sean Bean's on an out lap, so we won't ride with him for now. XRL Burnley's leaving the pit, so let's not ride with him either. Connor Ice, he's currently on the lap, but looks very, very slow. Yeah, he's not on a lap here at all, it's some kind of in lap here. Oh, there's a bit of a debate breaking out on the stream here, because apparently, according to Turtle Bobbert, Tom625, who's got the pace, won't be moving up, because they've already got new people joining who will be going into the season. So Lee's immediately countered and said, what's the point in racing your GP2 when you can't get promoted? Well, very strong words there from Lee, but I do have to agree with him, because like at the end of the day, if you've got the pace to move up, why shouldn't you move up? I'll give you an example from real life. In Rugby Union in 2012, London Welsh team won the championship to move up to the Premiership, and were told you can't do it, you've tendered your thing too late. They ended up going to court, proving they had the grounds and the funds, and said, why shouldn't we be allowed to be promoted? Courts found in their favour.
I've got a flying car on my screen.
Well, I've got Living 69 currently in a Red Bull on a DRS straight, driving perfectly fine at the moment, heading down towards the chicane in the middle of Sector 2, one of the fastest points in the World Track Series this, up to over 200 miles per hour as you get down to the heavy braking zone, quite a tight twisty chicane section with nasty little curves that can really throw you off. And now we're into the second of the DRS zones. Once again, Living 69 favouring the left-hand line rather than the right-hand line as we come in towards the triple chicane at the start of Sector 3. Nicely on the brakes, right on the option tire to get no more pace. A little bit of traffic ahead of him, so he's got to hope that traffic doesn't hold him up here as he goes through the next part. Oh, just about to get on the gas there. Had a bit too much example turning in. Almost threw him off the track. Then going through towards the hotel section, get a bit better grip here. And he's on the brakes. Oh, he's got a little deep there, almost off the track. Totally missed the apex. Living 69 really living quite dangerously here as he goes under the bridge again, understeer through those critical corners, not giving him the pace he needs here. And I'm not sure this is going to be that competitive a lap. Heading for the final corners, this doesn't look impressive at all. This might even be in the 140s here. Disastrous pace from Living 69.
I'm on board with XRL Bernie. He's currently down a massive straight, getting up to about 205 miles per hour. Where he's steadily into the chicane before going into the second straight.
But in the meantime now, Boyce is currently going through the start of Sector 2. He's obviously not safe feeling on that top run. 1:38.8 is his fastest lap. He's out on the option tyres here. Right at the end of the session, best time to get the grip down. I can't believe with the so few people setting times, it's hard to believe the qualifying's reached the end. So as we head towards the chicane, much high speed here as he gets on the brakes, just 400 metres, living quite dangerously. But got the car stopped quite early, surprisingly, Boyce. Almost went and cut the car. He has so much extra grip. Heading over the main straight towards the second of the DRS zones, flipping the flat, going to the middle of the track and then cutting slightly left. Driver's not favouring the natural line here as we head for the triple chicane. Don't make sure you don't take too much of the curb. He's got a decent entry, but he's got a little bit of tail slip on the middle of the corner there. Almost threw him off the track as we go into the tight Sector 3. Very high speed here, and you've got to be very committed in towards the heavy braking zone.
Just up to date on XRL Bernie, he spun his car on the exit of the hotel corner, lost his front wing and got a puncture. He's now in the pedal.
Oh, well, that's his terrifying goal, but the session's already at its end. Boys gets the best line of seen so far through the end of the hotel section here. Is he going to improve his pace? Is he under threat here for pole position? Getting across the inside line, getting quite a bit of speed there. I'm not sure this is an improvement. Oh, 1:38.5, just found a little extra pace. MGI1 meanwhile is behind him, just started the hotel section on the option tyres. Last hurrah for MGI1, who's shown great pace here so far. Went a little wide there, very nearly drove into the wall, but got away with that. Into the penultimate corner, pushes goes over the white lines. You can't keep doing that, you will get a penalty. And then we're over the finish line itself at 1:38.7. It's not enough to dethrone Boyce, but only a total of 7 drivers actually setting laps. XRL Fozzy, Tom625 and XRL Rusty, as well as Rymo 95, all caught out. And look at the pace difference, 1:38.5 at the top to a 1:45 at the bottom from Living Dead. Needless to say, not very good at all. So on the stream, Taylor Bob was saying with new people joining all the time, it's difficult to accumulate and see where people should be. Well, we've managed that for the last 3 seasons. We can carry on doing that for the future as far as I'm concerned. As the race progresses, according to Jordan Kelly, expects people like Nikita and Sean become faster, and do we agree? Well, I'd expect Sean to, because he's shown the pace, and Fozzy has shown great control. Nikita's an unknown variable on this track, I think. Meantime, Clarbs on the mainstream is saying that he thinks Sean will lag out before the end. And Rice Paddy Gaming is asking, are you even speaking?
Yes, I am speaking.
So Total Bobs is saying he's barely speaking. Well, to be fair, when I get into the action about describing a lap, it's hard to get a word in edgeways. That's why I'm a regular panellist for the panel show.
I don't know if you can hear me any better now. I just moved the mic closer to my mouth, so if they can get any messages saying that's better, that would be great.
Well, we'll wait and hear from their response here. So we're going to wait in the pits before we can give you the brief rundown before we start the Grand Prix, providing no one cheats and does it without our permission. So again, Ira Boyce showing a lot more pace than expected to take pole position from MGI1, who really pulled out a nice good lap there. Jamie for 2503, despite his awful lockups, doing enough for P3. Sean Bean, I believe, only stayed on the prime tyres, so he's going to have the grip for longer periods. It's a question of whether he can convert that into pace overall. Meantime, XRL Bernie didn't look like a hot race for him, but he'll be happy with 5th, and he'll just want to avoid falling too far back through the field. Connor Eyes looked like his real handful of his car, but Living Dead 69 definitely had real disappointment as far as I can see in his pace, way off what I would have expected. And then, of course, Fozzie, who's got great race pace, didn't set a time though. He's got all the fresh tyres, potentially, but at the same time has got no position on the track. And we saw last night with the instance between TRL Button and Ice Cold Andy, and also what F1 Nige did when he went into the wall. It's so easy to get caught up in the chaos early on. Tom 625, he's going to have it all to do here. He's lacked a bit of pace over the last couple of weeks. The starting 9th won't help. XRL Rusty, I think he's just going to treat this as an extended test session, really.
Not to mention Rivo 95, who's in last.
He was cheated out of a chance to set qualifying, and that really doesn't help him. So, of course, coverage brought to you tonight by GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. We are here in Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates at Yas Marina. Let's get out to the track so we can bring you uninterrupted coverage here on Channel 1.
And I'll be back in 25 seconds.
So here we are on the grid at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, United Arab Emirates. We've got 55 laps here. Starting the day, ending the night. It's going to be very, very tricky to see who's going to have the pace overall. So we're going to watch the runners and riders here. We've got 11 cars on the grid as far as I can see. Slightly light on people so far. Be interested to see how many of those survive towards the end.
And I am back.
Once we have the 5 lights go out, we will be racing here at round 17 in the XRL Racing League. Is off. So heading out towards first corner, Boyce gets a decent lap there, but MGI1 has followed him, goes on the inside there, MGI1 pushing wide there, side by side towards the top corner 2 here, and MGI1 is really living dangerously, trying to drive it on the outside. That's brave stuff, but there's no grip there, and he has to cede that place. In 3rd place, I believe, is Sean Bean 22, who's really pounced early off the laps here, got himself up to 2nd place, and MGI1 nearly does come back and Boyce, and I give Sean Bean a great chance to attack here, coming out for the DRS, so he's gone way too deep there. Jamie 2503 is going to have a run on Sean Bean potentially, as MGI1 tucks back into the slipstream of Boyce. Sean Bean 22 follows him. We're going to have a 3-car scrap at the end of the DRS zone here. Sean Bean committed the move to the inside. He's going to be heading towards this very tight game hairpin here. Gets past MGI1 beautifully. Oh, MGI1's not giving up though, trying to fight on the outside as Boyce goes over the track, misses the chicane. MGI1 taps Sean Bean there, nearly gains an advantage. Sean Bean goes through, and Boyce, his traction completely ruined by that mistake. He's under massive pressure here as we come towards the end of the 2nd sector, end of the DRS section 2. But MGI1 is going to filter further. Sean Bean on the brakes, very late to triple chicane there, and manages to leave that stick for now. Boyce tries to retaliate on the inside, hits the bollard, gets hit by MGI1 and Jamie 2503. MGI1 nearly attacks on the outside there, just about gets through there side by side. Coming down towards the hotel section, MGI1's got the inside line. Boyce is going to have to give this up, but he's not going to make it easy. He goes a bit too deep, goes off the track there. MGI1 is through. Jamie 2503 tries to follow him. He's got better traction through the hotel section, and I believe he's going to take set P3 here into the final corners. Boyce going backwards through the field.
Bernie got tangled up in the first corner incident. He's now in P11 out of 11.
GP2's not been able to make the ground on boys, but Sean B all the way up from P4 to P1. Ronnie's on the prime tyres as well, so he's this race to lose now because he's the one who's got the wear and the tyre, and they also got the pace, it would seem. GP2's struggling a little bit like Boyce in that car under the heavy fuel here. Behind them, running for Williams, we've got Connerized, I believe, who's done really well despite the lack of pace, has managed to hold it together. And then XRL Fuzzy, I believe, in the McLaren is in P6, being followed by XRL Rusty and Rybo, who's done well at the start to get himself up to P9. So moving on towards the front.
I was just going to say there's yellow flags out on track for some reason.
Well, I've got them on my radar, but MGI1 now is closing up to the back of Sean B. And the option tyres will give him the better run of the green on the terms of the overall pace. But Sean B is a nice seasoned warrior here and has shown great control. All the car feel very, very close together at the moment. Action all over the track here. On the screen, there's quite a lot of people saying that Fozzie is to win, they reckon. Well, he's currently running in P6, so he's got to do the hard way. Whereas Sean B on the prime tyres has got the control, and the race is his to manage. Behind them, you are Jamie2503 goes a little wide. Connerized misses the chicane, I think, and I believe that's Fozzie who's gone through into P5. No, Connerized has just managed to hold it off. But Boyce now has got potential run on MGI1, who had a poor exit at the start of Sector 3 here. Boyce going on the inside towards the hairpin before the hotel section, as we just see Sean Bean pop a wheelie. That's the last thing we want to see, because that tells us the lag is happening, and we may well lose a driver for an arbitrary reason. We've got Boyce, Jamie2503 and also MJI1 in a free car scrap for second place. Sean Bean's got about a second gap on these guys, but the DRS could really close this field up. Jamie2503 getting 4 eggs off the final corner, so as a result of that, Boyce gets to close onto the back of MJI1.
Not only that, Jamie2503 is also close up to the back of Boyce.
But as I said, these guys are getting into a pretty much a free car sandwich here. Scrapping for that second place. And Sean B now has got to try and get the hammer down. Oh, Jamie2503 all into the back of Boyce there. Had to go over the curb on the inside, cut the white lines. Bit naughty driving that. Can't do that too many times or you will before the stewards. Meanwhile, moving further back through the field, it looks like we've got a very, very tight scrap going for about 7th down to the bottom end of the points, I believe. We've currently got XRL Rusty in the Force India under threat here from Rybo 95, who's got DRS to assist the move here potentially. Goes around the outside, but XRL Rusty will have the second bite of the cherry heading out to the second tart, especially because the Rybo's gone wide, missed the chicane. Oh, but then Rybo, the cheeky little fox, has got on the brakes, and I believe he's going to have the DRS. Indeed, he will. Behind them, though, I think we've got XRL Bernie in a bit of a sideways scrap here with Tom 625. Bernie on the inside. We've got Rival trying to figure out how to move there. Bernie holds on the inside line into the triple chicane there and able to make that move stick. Beautiful driving.
I've just got MGI1 just corner cut twice in a row. Can't do it again, otherwise I will note it down.
Dear, that's not what we want. We don't want to be having too much trouble in the stewards tonight. We've already got enough things on the track. Oh, Jamie2503 here has got a chance at MGI1 who's lost out to Boyce. Not quite sure what happened there. I think MGI1 may have possibly gone wide during the hotel section. But then Boyce goes wide in the final corner, and now MGI1 was very close to be side by side. Has to filter in behind the Mercedes, but he's definitely going to have a great chance down in towards the inside corner here. Oh, he's a little bit still too much understeer there. Manages to correct it by shifting down to get a little more turning. But MGI1 a little bit scruffy here, and Sean B22 has really started to pull away now. This is a great chance for him to control the pace and take that win. Oh, and he's gone over the white lines, MGI1. That's another time I've seen this. Lee on the meantime is saying, what penalty do you get if you're watching the stream whilst racing? I don't know. And again, Sean, if you are watching this, turn it off.
Fitting to get the message across.
Well, in the meantime, MGI1, it's either on my screen, I do have Sean Bean22 listed as one of the viewers who's signed in. So I can understand why Lee is saying that. I'm saying it's not a reprimand because it can cause severe lag issues. So I'm pretty sure you get a penalty. Well, on the forum, there is the stewards' rules. I won't look at them, but if I did, you won't be able to see the race. Connor Eisen in P5 is really hampering XRL Fozzy, who's got the pace, but he's just not able to get past this Williams. Connor Eisen doing everything he needs to in his own position, and why shouldn't he? At the end of the day, he's the guy in front, and it's a job to the person behind to pass. So XRL Fozzy is really under pressure here, because while he's got the recon from last night's F1 race, currently that's not reaping the rewards.
Stumble with Jamie still, and he's just got a little bit of lag, and the MGR1 and Boyce have just pulled about a second away from him, which has pretty much just ruined this little part of the race.
Lovindead 69 in P8, so it was Lovindead 69 who made the move, not XRL Bernie. I do apologise for that. He's got Tom 625 trying to close it to the back of him, but Tom once again pushing on the track limits, going over the white lines. I've seen that from a lot of drivers now, and it's really not acceptable. If you're watching this in the lower divisions, we are going to be giving penalties if you keep doing that, so don't do it. Now, in the meantime, XRL Fozzy is going a great chance here to make a move on Connor Eisen. He's definitely going to be in the DRS zone, but the question is, has Connor Eisen got that car set up for maximum straight line speed? There goes the curves, and now we've got the flat. Game on for XRL Fozzy, and we've got Connor Eisen committed to the inside corner here, but Fozzy's going to run into a massive problem because he's going to get past, and this is going to give Connor Eisen a real chance now to have the DRS back at him towards the end of sector 2. Oh, but Connor Eisen got awful wheel spin going off the curves, but even so, has really stuck to the back of Fozzy's McLaren. But there goes the DRS flap, and Fozzy might well lose out straight away here. Connor Eisen thinking about which way he's going to move, decides to go on the inside. This could be quite brave, commits to the inside corner. Fozzy gives him the room, and going for his second corner. Connor Eisen's got the better line, but he's spun the car. He's really got poor traction there, and Fozzy gets away with that. Beautiful driving.
Yeah, Boyce is now in the DRS detection zone on Sean Bean, and the battle of the lead is hotting up because he's got the two other guys with MGR1 and Jamie 2503 right behind as well.
Indeed, Boyce has really started to close that gap. Now that he's got 3 of MGR1, he's going himself back on Sean's pace. Not because Sean is on the prime tyres now, whereas Boyce is on the options. So Sean Bean's still going to have the pound seats to the victory here because he's going to have control of the stints for now. And of course, it's a question of how aggressive do you go on your tyres. Do you go all out attack with multiple option stints, or do you be very conservative with the primes and one final option stint? Whatever happens, Boyce has got great grip at the first 2 corners now. He had to get out of the slipstream there for Sean Bean. The turbulent air was disturbing him so badly through turn 4, and then we're into sector 1, chicane of 5 and 6. Sean Bean's really going to be under massive pressure here because Boyce is all over the back of his gearbox like a rash. Heading through the hairpin corner, Boyce getting on the traction quite nice and smooth there. He's going to have a great chance on the DRS. On the stream, Lee reckons it's worth pitting now if you're on the options because you can get a huge undercut on the other drivers. Well, there's a tip for you, Sean Bean, if you're watching.
Around the outside goes Boyce. Sean has got the inside line, but Boyce will get the second DRS detection zone. That
was the point there. Boyce gave that up. I think he realised that. He's seen what the pressure that the likes of XRL Fozzy got up to, and that was a real chance for him here. Meantime, behind them, MGI1 has also got DRS on the pair of them. Now, Boyce is going to make his moves, committed to the inside, but Sean's just about got the legs, I believe. Heading into the corner, Sean just gets a corner inside apex, and that's beautiful defensive driving from the Ferrari driver there. MGI1 very nearly will collect it into the back of him as a result of it, and he's now dragged along Jamie 2503. Oh, but meanwhile, Boyce thinking about the inside of the fast corners. That's really brave driving, but he's going under big pressure from MGI1 now as he lost so much traction, went off the track as we go into the hotel section. These guys are all literally all over each other. Jamie 2503 has now joined the battle. We've got 4 cars all battling very, very closely for the lead here. And we've got a little bit of lag spike there from Jamie 2503, and he was thinking about the pits and pulls on the inside of the final corner. He sold the dummy to MGI1. That's one of the most intelligent passes I've seen for some time. Well, now MGI1 has a chance to fight back towards turn 1, but decides it's not worth the move at this moment in time. All drivers are still being able to keep themselves out there and pushing for the maximum tyre life. Boyce lags a bit wide there, almost spun the car on the curb. Got away with it though. He's really ragging that car to the absolute maximum. Cuts the inside corner too much, gets paid the price though with the curbs.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Boyce comes in at the end of the lap.
Oh, cheeky move from MGI1 there, up the inside at the hairpin, but he's caused him to go wide, and that's allowed Jamie to not only get away from him, but also break the DRS zone. So Jamie now has got DRS on the back of Boyce, who's got it also on Sean Bean. Boyce not close enough to make a move into the chicane, but if he can get a smooth exit here, he might have a chance now towards the end of Sector 2. Save all his curves for maximum power output. There goes the flap of the DRS, gets into the slipstream of the Ferrari, and John's gone to the left of the track. I think Boyce is going to commit to the outside. No, he switches to the inside in the last second. He's got the inside line, the car's touch, and it's a side pod glitch, and that's collecting Jamie 2503. And Boyce is waiting, giving the position up, but that's no doubt about it going to be a penalty. Fozzie, as a result of that, goes through into P3. MGI1 avoids all the carnage to take P2, and now our new leader is Jamie 2503. That's it. Well, we'll need to note down on the stewards report that one of the drivers was watching the stream here, Chris.
Okay.
So, after all the chaos, Rival 95 is now in P5, Connorized is in P6. Where has that put Boyce? Tom 625 down in 7th place, and Boyce is now down in, it's going to 7th because of the pit stops, now in P6. Boyce lost out absolutely massively there. Very fair of him to wait and give that position up to Sean, even though it appeared to be that it was a side pod glitch. But either way, he's not gained an advantage. Seriously, Codemasters, sort these glitches out. Sort the patch, get the lag sorted, get people enjoying the game. How do you expect to do your League of Leagues if you get people doing stuff like this?
Talking about League of Leagues, I think the first race is tomorrow. I'm not sure which racetrack it is.
It's happening tomorrow on Wednesday. Now, in the meantime, Curtis and DRS deployed by Boyce, who's not waiting for Tom 625. He said he's going to have the Salva driver down towards the end of the first zone, and Tom 625 will have the second chance. He saved a little bit of Curtis as Boyce goes wide and misses the chicane again. Curtis deployed by Tom 625, and as a result of that, I believe he's going to get the move done. They're heading side by side down towards the chicane. At the end of Sector 2, it's going to be a question of who's better on the brakes. Here is Tom 65 slams on board and gets that move done nice and easily.
Boyce just remembered about what happened last lap. He's just let him go through easily.
We're going to have Sorrel Bird, in P7 chasing down Boyce, so all of a sudden there's a bit of a change of the order up top here. XRL Bernie trying to get close to the back of that Mercedes, who's chasing down Tom 625. These are the closest cars on track, so we will at the moment stick with them as Boyce once again goes over the inside of the hairpin, and as a result of that, XRL Bernie goes through, and I also believe XRL Rusty's got a chance to go by here. Half the tyres of that Mercedes gone, because Rusty's now gone through for P7, and I think we're going to see Boyce box. Indeed, we do. He's gone in. Ahead, a couple more drivers have also followed him into the pits here, so now's the best chance for these guys to be able to get out there and be able to get themselves some fresh rubber down. We've got the prime runners now, all occupying the top slots here. Sean Bean 22 back into second place because of all the pit stops. Jamie 2503, curiously, is still out on the options after 9 laps. He's got a gap of about maybe 4 seconds on Sean Bean. Now, it's interesting if he can keep that gap growing or if he's going to lose that time here. That's going to be the big difference maker to his race. On the stream,
from apparently on Wednesday it's Australia for the League of Leagues.
Right, there we go, that's nice to know. So MGI1 has just gone past XRL Rusty, heading towards the second DRS zone, but Rusty, his teammate, is going to have the flap available for the second part of the lap here. Oh, but Rusty's not deploying it. Is this a bit of a team order here? Because Rusty's not deploying his DRS. Heading out towards the chicane, he's backed off early. That to me looks like the teammates have decided, I'm not racing you, go on ahead, I'll protect you. Unusually you see that from teammates, but good driving. Lovinda 69 in P8 is really having a torrid time of it. Connorized in P9 and then Rival 95 down in 10th place after his excellent first start has really struggled. Probably got caught up in all the excitement and that's cost his race pace. Rounding off the runners and riders is Ira Boyce, way down at the back in the 11th place. Got clean air now though, and he's got fresh prime tyres on, so he might be able to turn this to his advantage. Sean Bean is now back in the league as Jamie must have gone into the pits. Indeed he has, he's now got falling down the field, currently on P4. He's going to come out in P5 I believe here. It's just that Sean Bean, we've just got XRL Bernie going through. Oh, and MJI1, he's just stayed out in front of the Force India. Just got away with that. On the stream, Lee is asking if Anthony's racing in the League of Leagues. As far as we are aware, he's underage. So, as a result of that, not able to take part. MJI1, you're seeing on the inside of the hairpin corner there. Gets out of the gas, but a little bit of pushing of the wheels there. MJI1 got to be cautious, doesn't cause any kind of incident. Lee's saying that we're and then star. I guess that you believe that we're not going to have much of a chance in the League of Leagues. Well, we don't know, do we? We don't know how everyone's connections are going to hold up. We don't know how many people are going to race wheel to wheel and engage the cycle glitches. XRL Bernie has just been done by GP2 who's gone off the track outside of the move. He's going to have to let Bernie back through. If he doesn't, that will be a penalty because he'll gain an advantage going off the track to complete the move. Heading into the final corner, he's not let Bernie back through, and actually MJI1 is sitting on the inside of Bernie as a result of that. MJI1 has got a chance on Jamie, but Jamie, I believe, made an unfair attack there. MJI1 looking at the back of Jamie 2503, heading into the section before the hotel. And we've still got 45 laps to go here, viewers. We've got a long way yet. Anything's possible in this race. MJI1 gets lights and tyres up going underneath the hotel there. Oh, as Jamie nearly goes into the wall. Really pushes that a little too wide there. Almost paid the price of his nose cone. Coming out of the final corner, MJI1 is falling back a bit here from GP2 and XRL Bernie has now got all over his gearbox XRL Fozzie in the McLaren as Bernie just far too wide, goes outside the track and turn 1 and Fozzie goes, I didn't think it'd be that easy. Oh well, live and learn. So MJI1 staring at the back of GP2 going to have a chance under the DRS.
Thinking this is probably the time for the prime runners to come in. I know Bernie's now struggling, he's just let his teammate back through.
Thing is, 11 laps to go, 11 laps done, that's not a long time on these prime tyres. That'll be staring at a 5-stop strategy, that's not what you need.
No, it's not what you need, but if the tyre life's gone and you're doing the poor lap times, then you might as well just change your tyres.
Right, interestingly, tomorrow night there's meant to be a playoff race between Total Poets, Hamilton, Jambo, Sean, and originally Lee. We don't think he counts because of his age restrictions to see who races on Wednesday evening. That's a bit of a surprise. Jamie2503 staring at the back now of... Is that his teammate ahead of him in P2? It is indeed. Tom625, out of nowhere, has snuck into second place and let his teammate through at the hotel section. Evidently, again, playing the team strategy here. Tom625 now is going to be charged with holding up MJI1. And MJI1 obviously is aware of that, so wants to try and get past this Sauber as quick as possible. Doesn't wait till the inside of the final corner. Beautifully done there. And Jamie2503 will be a bit annoyed at his teammate because that's definitely not what he needed. According to Total Roberts on the stream, he reckons that primes can last 15 laps around Abu Dhabi. Sorry, Chris, go on. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, it's not what you need, but I think from what I saw, MGR1 had a little bit of an incident turn 1, but he managed to keep ahead of Tom.
Yeah, Tom65 is going to have a chance on the DRS there to put MJI1 under pressure. And JB2503 really needs that chance. Flat wide open, curse deployed as we head down towards the chicane in the middle part of the DRS section here. Great chance now for Tom65 to pull one over on one of his teammates' rival, MJI1, and give him a great chance to sneak in second place and keep that high podium position. Well, MJI1 getting poor traction off that corner at the chicane there. Cuts to the inside, kicks up the dust. Tom65's got the DRS, but doesn't seem to be closing too much on MJI1, and I don't think he's going to significantly close the gap. Indeed, he hasn't.
that's another telltale sign that the primes are starting to go away here in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, definitely. It's a telltale sign that the pace is just not there in the car at the moment when you're on this rubber that's worn. Lunidez 69 currently ahead of his teammate in 6th place. Connor Rice is 7th, and then we've got Rybo now in P8. So he's fighting a decent fight back, having had to start all the way down in 11th place. And now we've got XRL Fozzy all over the back of Tom 625 now. Tom 625 in danger of falling further and further down the field here. Going through the final corner, XRL Fozzy has definitely got the grip. Oh, went a bit wide there as far as I can see. Tom 625 really pushed out that outside the limits. Heading towards turn 1, XRL Fozzy and Tom riding a bit of the inside curve a little too much there. Both guys get away with it. Over the crest round for the...
I'm on board with Sean Bean, and he's just on a little bit of a dangerous, well, not dangerous driving, but he just cut the corner.
Right, got to be careful though. We can't keep seeing people cut corners. You will get penalties. We've said this before. Now XRL Fozzy has got a great chance now on Tom 625. He's very, very close to the back of Tom 625 to go on this massive, massive straight. Kerr's deployed here, and the flap has now opened on the DRS. He decides he's going to go to the outside, try and take the more natural line. Cuts back, sweeping beautifully there. That move's done and dusted. Now, is he close enough to the back of MGI1 to put the Force India driver under pressure here? Let's ride on board. Going off the corner, deploys his Kerr's a little later, and Tom 625 is going to follow him, but no, he's not got the DRS. Tom 625's got a great chance now. On the straight around that. A nasty comment from Lee here, saying he hopes that there's going to be a lot of lag in these races, especially the Codemaster staff are stewarding. I'm not going to comment on that, I don't need to.
I was just saying, Jamie 2503 has caught up to the back of Sean, is about 2 seconds away from him now.
Well, let's try and get on board with that then, because MGI1 currently in P3, and then, yeah, Jamie 2503 started to catch Sean. Of course, Sean's been on these tyres since the start now, and in fact, Sean's boxed. Sean has decided to go in on lap 13, probably a lap or two earlier than they expected there from Sean, and that frees up Jamie now to have a great chance to control the pace, because MGI1 is about 3 seconds adrift of him, and behind them, we've got XRL Fozzy in P3. So this is definitely a chance now for these guys to put Sean under pressure here. Moving further back through the field, Tom 625 in 4th has gone through, and then in 5th, so has Living Dead 69. Connor Rice in 6th place. Where has Sean been? He's come out in P7. He's got clean air for now, but he's got a big bunch of cars not far up the road. This could really hurt his race, and he's switched to the option tyres. He's looking to get them out of the way as early as possible.
It's definitely a strange call by Sean, but I reckon after that incident with Boyce, he just wants to catch up to the rest of the field again.
Living Dead 69 got the DRS flap open on the back of Tom 625. The Sauber driver pushing on with his tyres, trying to make them last as long as he can. But Living Dead 69's got the second bite of the cherry of DRS here, heading out towards the chicane end of sector 2. He's expecting to just simply blast on by here, and he goes to the inside. Living Dead 69 favouring his left hand line. Got to be careful you don't pick up too many marbles, but that's beautifully done under DRS. Up ahead, meanwhile, we've got a bit of a scrap going on as XRL Fozzy has closed right up to the back of MJI1. This is exactly what Jamie 2503 wants, because those two guys scrapping will give him a great chance to break them and finish well clear. As the sun begins. Oh, and MJI1 got out of shape there, shot back across, and Fozzy very nearly hit him. Fozzy stopping to avoid engaging the side pump glitch. Very good aware driving there from Fozzy, really showing his class, and that's the kind of thing that shows the difference between the drivers that are top rated and the drivers that are merely good.
Definitely agree there. Just unlucky for Fozzy.
On the stream, Lee's asking, do we know what other leagues are taking part in the League of Leagues? As he knows that Noble 2909 and X-Mighty are representing AOR, and TRL Limitless is representing TRL. To be honest, no. We're still waiting more information. Dan's the one who's got all that information. We'd expect Apex to be in there, WRL potentially, VBRL if they got anyone fast enough, but I don't really know. It's a bit very tricky.
It's interesting because I've heard rumours that TRL Limitless is actually underage.
Well, if he is, and he gets dobbed in for it and they ask for proof and it turns out he is underage, this league will be disqualified according to Codemaster's rules. Because, of course, the league racing, I don't know why this is, but the league racing has an age limit of 18 years. If you're under 18, you ain't racing.
That's pretty stupid then, if the game is for age of 3 over.
Well, I think it's more because it's in terms of the competition rather than the game itself. But then again, I really don't know. On the stream, Jordan reckons that Noble 2909 has way too much pace. I've never seen him race over long distances, so I don't know. It's hard to say, really.
If anyone's watching and knows, what distance is the race? Because if it's 100%,
50%.
Noble, 50%, yeah, I'd agree. Noble's probably going to have a better chance there.
I don't know why they're only doing 50%. They should do full race distances, full races.
I was going to say, if it was 100%, then XRL will probably have a better chance if we actually do 100% race simulation.
Meantime, we've actually got a bit of a close scrap going on here. From 5th all the way down to 7th place. We've got Tom 625 who's being followed by Sean Bean, who has got the option tyres on. Now, Sean Bean, Tom 625 has still not been into the box. We're on lap 16 here. Now, he might be trying to push on to really make these tyres last. But again, if you go on for too long, you will lose too much pace. Sean Bean goes outside the white lines there. Turbulent air, evidently ruining his traction. Heading down towards the chicane at the end of sector 1, Sean Bean going to have a great chance to blast past Tom 625, who holds the middle of the track going into the hairpin there. Definitely not giving him any easy room. But Sean Bean should just blast past there, and the grip on those tyres should much easily get up to pace. Curse deployed, DRS flat wide open. Question now is Tom 625, will he get close enough to fight back? You'd probably bet against it, but then again, stranger things have happened. As far as I know, Clams on the stream, yes, there is prizes. I don't know what prizes they are. It says it'd be prizes for the leagues. Now, again, I'm not entirely sure of all the details there, but that might explain why there is an age limit. Also, the tournament's being held under the jurisdiction of New York. Reason being that if you decide to put a legal challenge in, you have to prepare to go to a court in New York to present your case.
You've got the money to go out there, you might as well just go and present your case.
Well, if you've got the money to go out there, why are you complaining about racing in an online racing league? Set up your own racing team, do it for real. XRL Bernie, meanwhile, in P9 is currently chasing on the back of XRL Rusty in the Force India. Scrap from the lower end of the points here. XRL Bernie, not the greatest of races. He's really struggled for pace and he was always talked of his chances, but this weekend he's really not come to the party at all. Made quite a lot of mistakes, had difficulty with the tyres, and he's going to try and get himself some good points there if possible. Otherwise, he's going to be struggling to move things forward.
Yeah, Tom 65 is now in the pits. I'm on board. See what Curry goes on to. Remains on the prime tyre.
XRL Bernie now is going to go past Tom 625, who's gone into the box here, and that means XRL Rusty has also got through. Interestingly, according to Clark on the stream, reckons that any competition with a prize is classified as gambling. Well, how do kids' competitions get away with it then? Surely that logic wouldn't work. There must be something to do with it. On the stream, meanwhile, Lee is saying it's a shame that we can't stream the races, but we've got a huge amount of viewers. I agree, it would have been nice to stream the races, but hey, I guess they can't have any kind of bias shown to the leagues, so I don't know what it is. But all we'll know is that there's going to be highlights as far as I know, and Codemaster's blog is going to showcase it. Now, XRL Bernie initially was ahead of XRL Rusty there, but Rusty seems to curse deploy to counter-attack, and Bernie is trying to hold off it. Oh, he's not giving Rusty enough room. Hit the tyre. Rusty misses the chicane here, and as a result of that, XRL Rusty is going to have a great disadvantage now, heading towards the end of Sector 2. DRS not active there from XRL Bernie, and he's not even got the DRS. That's a bit strange.
Yeah, I think it's because you had Rusty off the track when they both went through the DRS detection zone.
Yeah, but surely you're still 1 second behind the car, so you should still get DRS. Otherwise, that have happened in real life otherwise. Otherwise, people just drive on the track deliberately to avoid giving their opponent DRS. Again, if there is something in the rules about that, please let us know, but I really can't see it myself. Now, I've got another scrap further up the points field here. Let's see who that is. It's between 5th and 4th place. We've got Sean Bean 22, who's scrapping with the Living Dead 69. Sean Bean 22, of course, on the option tyres here, so he's going to have the better grip. Living Dead also didn't have the pace in qualifying, but we've seen this before. Drivers can have really poor qualifying pace and be great in the race. On the flip side, a driver can light up the timing screens on the qualifying, dominate everybody, and then fall backwards all the time in the race.
Rusty's just come in the pits and put on another set of prime tyres.
DRS flap on for Sean Bean 22 as he falls behind Living Dead 69, pulls out to the left of the slipstream. He's definitely committed to make this move as early as possible. Living Dead 69 should have DRS to fight back there as he takes the wider karting line to try and get the switch back, and indeed it's possibly worked. Sean Bean 22 got very poor traction there coming off the corner. DRS flap is now wide open as we head down towards this chicane at the end of the lap here, and in the sector 3, Living Dead 69 gets on the brakes. Sean Bean thinks about coming into the outside there, side by side there, and beautiful defensive driving from Sean Bean to find the grip to hang on there. Absolutely wicked stuff. On the stream, Jigsaw is asking what's up, guys, and also apologies for not racing tonight. Well, we have races where we can't race, Jigsaw's, at least you're here watching, so thank you very much for tuning in. As for what's up, well, we've seen quite a lot of interesting racing so far, and some unusual calls on the strategies. It's going to be very tricky to pick a winner here, really, I think.
Second person who's asked what's up, and in response to that thing we did earlier, the 5.
Fozzie, meanwhile, has come into the pits now. He's on lap 19, switching on the tyres. He's gone to the primes as well. So he's going for a longer stint on the more durable rubber, which will give him a more conservative but safer run. I'm a Boyce is probably going to go past him now because he's not yet been in the box after his first stop. Boyce was off the track at turn 1 there, really had low grip. And behind him we've got Fozzie coming up the pit exit now, the underground car park, and he's quite a bit behind, about 2 or 3 seconds. Connor Rice, meanwhile, in P7 is under pressure now, as XRL Bernie and the Red Bull has really got close to the back of him here. So Bernie's driving quite a strong race here, got a decent pace in the car, and he's doing enough to duel with the drivers ahead of him. Heading into the hairpin corner, Bernie's about 3 tenths behind, so you would expect it to have the DRS flap and the extra overspeed that gives you due to the loss of drag. Because like, at this circuit, would you reckon DRS is more powerful than most?
Yes, along with the slipstream, because the slipstream is extremely powerful as you've seen down the straights. But yeah, DRS is vital here if you want to get a quick lap time as well as pass people.
Well, in the meantime, SL Bernie didn't use the DRS strangely on the first straight there. Not sure if he didn't realise he had it or if he just got a DRS problem. Indeed, he's still getting the second slot again, and while we've got the icon, it's not being activated. It looks to me like he's got a problem with his DRS, and that's the last thing you want as a driver. I mean, we saw Fernando Alonso in 2013 when at Bahrain his DRS went over centre and it meant that he wasn't able to race with it because it kept on braking each lap. So again, he was very much hampered as a result of that.
Yeah, at Bahrain, I'd say it's probably less vital than it is in Abu Dhabi for DRS. So it gives him a couple of tenths a lap.
Sean Bean 22 in the Ferrari, getting close now to MJI1 in the Force India. Once again, the option compound definitely working for Sean Bean because he's got the pace, but there's a big gap now between them and Jamie2503, who's currently leading the race. A good 5 or 6 seconds here. So Sean Bean has really been compromised thanks to that side pod glitch that happened. And there's a question now of how much pace he can make up on the track. MJI1 deploying all his curse to pull away from Sean. Sean saved his curse, evidently thinking about fancying a go at the end of sector 2, but he's got the pace and the overspeed to be able to get by into the first chicane. And MJI1 has only got a little bit of his curse bar left here, so Sean can get good traction off the chicane. And MJI1 cuts the chicane there, goes over all 4 tyres over the white line. That is going to give him an advantage. DRS flat from Sean, but I think Sean's defending with his curse here, and he's just got the legs to hold that position down. Meantime, Clarbs is asking for a rundown, so go on, Chris, I'll let you do the honours. Before you do that, firstly though, I have boys under threat from XRL Fozzie. Fozzie goes on the inside, she gave both guys locked tyres. Boyce ends up being hit off the circuit, and gains an advantage, goes ahead, but stops and lets Fozzie through. Meanwhile, behind them further back, in P8, we've got Tom625 still scrapping with XRL Bernie. Okay, now go ahead with the rundown.
In first, we have Jamie2503 in the Sauber. Second, we have Sean Bean22 in the Scuderia Ferrari. Third is MGR1 in the Force India. Fourth, we have Living Dead 69. Fifth, we have XRL Fozzie. Sixth, I Am Boyce. Seventh is Connor Eyes. Eighth is Tom625. Ninth is XRL Bernie. 10th is XRL Rusty. And 11th and running up the field is Rybo95.
Can we ask who's got the fastest lap?
Ooh, fastest lap is Tom625 on a 1:44.1.
So he's obviously only just come out of the pits and got the rubber down there. So that's good driving throughout the field. On the stream, of course, you can keep giving us your comments and we'll do all we can to answer your questions. So 7th place, got Connor Eyes now, who's broken clear at Tom625, and he's got Dan Fisk closing behind him quickly, and Dan has actually not got a DRS now, so he's lost the advantage, and Tom's not got it either. So we're at that point where it looks like the gaps have stabilised enough to negate the effects of DRS. You can see the floodlights turning on here, and the hotel starting to light up. So we are in the sunset period here. We will be under night floodlights very, very soon indeed. Question of whether this game simulated the change in ambient temperature or not.
Potentially, but also potentially not. Obviously, the temperature does change in dynamic weather. For the rain, it does get cold on track.
But the question whether it does it by nightfall. Meantime, we've got a bit more of a duel once again. P6, we've got Ira Boyce, who's under big pressure here as Connor Eyes has made him make a mistake, and Boyce has gone off the track, completely missed that chicane out. So as a result of that, Connor Eyes goes through. Boyce really in trouble here, and he may well back dive for the box. Tom625, meanwhile, has still got XRL Bernie all over him like a bloodhound. He's not giving up here, Bernie. He wants these points, and once again, Boyce dives for the pits. Now, who else is in the pits ahead of Boyce there? I'm not quite sure who it is.
To tell you that, it would be Living Dead 69.
Living Dead 69, indeed, it just got to when you did. So let's round and go with XRL Bernie then chasing down the Tom625. These guys are the closest on track at the moment. A big shout out as well to all of you watching there. Really good turnout tonight. Thank you all very much for watching. Coverage exclusive tonight on twitch.tv and brought to you by GT Allrigger Racing and GamePod.co.uk. As XRL Bernie's starting to struggle with grip now, he almost spun the car twice, and look at the advantage that Tom625 has pulled away there. So XRL Bernie really struggling to get close here, and as the gaps once again decreased and gone away from each other, unfortunately we're at that point where the drivers are in that chess playing mode, preserving the tyres, matching the cooler temperatures, and trying to focus on these points per dividend positions.
It's going to be interesting to see how long the prime tyres can now go now the sun is setting on the track.
Indeed. So while we've got the chance here, I'm going to talk about real life F1. Spoilers for those of you who've not seen the qualifying race highlights on either BBC or Sky. If you haven't, make sure you check them out and mute the TV now. So, one of the things I want to say is the disqualification of Daniel Ricciardo. It's taken a bit of a strange twist, this, because Red Bull have now said they're surprised by the exclusion. And, other teams are aware that the data's not consistent. But Stefano Domenicali from Ferrari and Toto Wolff from Mercedes have immediately rebutted and said, we have to have faith in the FIA and their equipment, which tells me of a big difference in the mental attitudes of the people running the teams. Because while Toto Wolff and Stefano Domenicali have basically said, these are the rules, we have to stick to them, whilst Red Bull has said, the rules don't work, science can prove us we're right, so we're going to ignore their rules anyway. Even if Red Bull's argument's correct, and it turns out the fuel sensors are wrong, you can't just simply say, we're ignoring you because you're wrong. you have to prove later on to say why the case needs to be changed. It's like going back to the whole team orders thing. When Felipe Massa received that dreaded message in 2010 of Fernando Alonso being faster and did he understand, immediately everyone then came forward and said the fact is this goes on throughout the pit lane and you can't police it. So the FIA said, yeah, we agree, we'll change the rule. That kind of mentality needs to be adopted with the fuel sensors. If Red Bull really believe they've got an adequate reason for why the standardised sensor does not work and should be changed, they should be presenting it in a legal manner, but racing within the rules in the meantime.
I totally agree.
Currently the closest battle we got on track anyway at the moment is Living Dead 69 catching up to his teammate XRL Bernie. Oh, you people watching on the stream, what's your opinion on the way that on Red Bull's attitude regarding the whole fuel sensor issue? Do you think they're right to be saying that you should be pushing the rules and lobbying the FIA and doing what you can to change it on track? Or should you be taking the more diplomatic approach that the likes of Schumacher and Prost took during their years of high dominance of the sport in order to get the rules suited in a way that was fair for everybody?
MGI1 has actually lost its front wing and is now in the pit.
I just saw that, it's literally blocking the pit lane entrance, and that's really compromising. Now he's already been passed by XRL Bernie and Living Dead 69. They've all got through. On the street, while the Jigsaw says Red Bull got what they deserved, I completely agree. I completely and utterly agree. Because at the end of the day, technical infringement is a technical infringement. Honda got famously disqualified for 2 races when they had a dual fuel cell system which wasn't allowed. We also had Ferrari, remember them, Malaysia in 1999, won the race 1-2 and then it turned out one of the winglets was like 4mm shallow, both cars disqualified. Fact of the matter is, rules are rules and you've got to stay with them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a shame that it's Daniel Ricciardo's home race, but obviously if you break the rules, accept the consequences.
Very true. Very, very true indeed. I mean, it's like, you could argue that Ayrton Senna in 1989 was pretty much his second home race in Japan. Jean-Marie Ballister still changed the pit position to favour another driver. No, they weren't paying attention to it then. Why should they now? XRL Rusty has got a great chance to catch up to MGI1. I bet Rusty will be surprised by that because MGI1 seems to have a lot more pace than him. But despite that, even the DRS, he's not used it. And Boyce, who's down in P10 now, would you believe, way down out of position, he's behind both the Force Indians. That's the last thing he needs. Oh, the big mistake on XRL Rusty, he goes completely off the track. So Boyce goes, well, that makes things a little bit easier. And he's now closing up to MGI1, who he knows is literally no slouch when it comes to racing. On the stream, Latin Cabal is asking, did I wake up for the Grand Prix? Yes, I did. I was up at 5:15, I was. And I then was able to move things forward from there. So I was up watching that live. And I will also be up live to watch the Malaysian Grand Prix in a couple of weeks' time too.
Malaysia's got a bit of a better time difference for us. About 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock start for us in the UK.
To be honest, I don't mind Australia being at 6 o'clock in the morning. I actually preferred Australia when it was at its proper time. It used to be on at 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, I bet you're thinking, why would I want it at that time? Well, what I used to do was simple. I go out to the pub, get wasted, 1:30 in the morning, get myself a pizza, eat it, and put the telly on.
I loved it back at that time as well because I realised not only has F1 arrived, it also means that I get to stay up late.
Yeah, well, I was the other way. I didn't even go to sleep actually those years. I'd sometimes get in from work, piss as a coot, have a pizza in hand, and have another 4-pack of beer, drain that during the race, have a cup of coffee, then do a shift at work like a zombie. Members of the public asking where are the cans, and I'm like, directing people over with the most primitive things. Tom625, meanwhile, just got passed on the DRS there by Living Dead 69 in the Red Bull. Great chance to take it to P5 and move his way forward. On the screen, Lee is pointing out that Eddie Irvine got his win reinstated in Malaysia. Very similar to the way James Hunt did in 1976 at the Spanish Grand Prix at Jarama. So, same thing there. It has happened. Decisions have been overturned, but usually they go for those rules. Jamie2503 is just coming out of the pits on the prime tyres now. Sean Bean's only just gone through here. This is a crucial thing for the race position here, because Jamie2503 is on the prime tyres. He's just gone out in P3. 23. So ahead of him, we've got XRL Fozzie and McLaren, and then only about 4 or 5 seconds clear is Sean Bean 22. Great position, this, definitely.
It's also interesting to see how long Sean's got left in them tyres after he's been on the options for about 12 laps now.
He has been on for quite some time, definitely pushing the tyre life. We saw Tom 625 do it in the Sauber on the Prime, and as the night falls, it does make the track cooler theoretically. It's a question of how blood onto the simulation is. As Rybo 95 has retired, well, he was way down out of position and well out of the points. But obviously he decided that it's no longer time to carry on. Get him in here so we can get his comments.
Shame we had 26 laps of everybody racing, but we have now got our first retirement.
Well, it's better than we had in the F1 division. We lost 2 on the opening lap, so a bit of a better batting average there. Instead of England batting in the 2020, we've now got Australia. Now, Jamie2509 is catching up to the back of XRL Fozzie, going through sector 3. Jamie on the fresher tyres has definitely got the extra speed and pace here, as you can really see the effect of the lights, the floodlights and the lights on the hotel now, as that's sunny. Look at that horizon there, totally golden, no sign of the Great Gold Sphere because it's going to sleep behind the desert dunes. Oh, Jamie2503. Oh, very cheeky there, taking advantage of the fact the pit lane line turns just before the apex, trying to sneak up the inside of the final corner, had to get out of it. Oh, Sean Bean's in the box. Sean Bean has just gone into the pits. So Fozzie is now in the lead, and he's got Jamie all over his gearbox. Now, this is really important, because they need to know what kind of pace they've got and position in relation to Sean, as Fozzie goes a little wide, pushes way over the apex there, and at the end of sector 1, Jamie once again going over the chicane as Fozzie locks back into the middle of the track. No one knows what's going on here. What difference between these guys? I'd say it's about 5 seconds between Sean Bean and Jamie2503. This Abu Dhabi Grand Prix is not over by a long shot. These guys are all very close together. DRS flat wide open from Jamie2503, heading down the long straight into the tight hairpin chicanes here. Brakes on the outside. I think he's going to try and let Fozzie back through. Fozzie's hit him. He's spun him round. Fozzie's put him into a 180. Sean Bean won't believe his luck here, because XRL Fozzie has just changed the race completely. And look at that basketball drive for Sean Bean there. Deliberately didn't get on the gas. Made sure he crossed the DRS detection zone as close as possible. But he's not going to DRS slap over. Has Sean Bean got a problem, which is hampering him at the most crucial time? He's still going to have a go regardless. Massive lock-up from Jamie2503. But Sean Bean just not close enough to affect the pass.
I've got some news on Rybo 95. He said that he was right at the back and he left due to him not feeling well. I just hope he feels better and hopefully see him in the next race at America.
LGS says on the stream he believes that was a side pod glitch. Obviously we'll have to investigate that. The car didn't seem to spin around as much as usual. The side pod glitch usually causes it literally to spin around like a top. Whereas what happened between Fozzie and between Jamie2503 was a bit different there. He seemed to get the one single 180 degree, so I'm not sure. It's one that obviously is going to review. Fozzie's had a drive-through penalty. So obviously he was given a drive-through for causing a collision. Note that down. Obviously we'll need to review it to see if the penalty is justified or if it does need to be rescinded. But either way, Jamie2503 has got Sean Bean behind him by maybe half a second. We've got a scrap here. Meanwhile, one of the questions on the screen was who impressed me the most in the Australian Grand Prix. I think personally Magnussen did, because he was very mature. He was driving against the likes of Danny Ricciardo, against the likes of Rico Rosberg, Jenson Button, Fernando Alonso, and he did a great job. Meantime, Shelby 22 on the DRS towards the first chicane just decides not to make the move, but he cuts the inside corner there all 4 times over the white line. He's got to keep doing that. I would also say Bottas did impress me. He did magnificently well to come back from 15, but brain fade. Completely lost trust in the car and that ruined his race. Had it not been for that, I reckon he may well have supplanted Jenson Button in terms of being the final podium finisher. But at the end of the day, you live and learn. And the great thing about Williams is they've already outscored their whole total from last season. That's a great turnaround.
Yeah, I think someone else who impressed is the rookie Daniel Kvyat. He got 9th place after the disqualification of Ricardo, and to be one place behind his teammate who has been in the Grand Prix era for 2 years now is pretty impressive.
It's not just that, it's the fact that he also was having an extremely good battle with Kimi Raikkonen. Don't forget, Kimi Raikkonen is a Formula champion, and he was also the winner of the race last season. This is someone who's really got the pace in the car, and yet, despite driving in the inferior Toro Rosso, Fiat put up a bloody good fight against Raikkonen. So Fiat definitely impressed me. I think really F1 showed that there's great life in the sport when you've got the likes of Danny Ricciardo, Kevin Magnussen, Danny Fiat, all doing so well in these cars. And you've got Jules Bianchi who's doing a great job for Marussia as well. The future is very, very bright for the sport.
It's very interesting how the young guns have now suddenly started to outwit the old and wise men such as Fernando Alonso and Jenson Button.
Well, there's actually a potential advantage to the younger drivers. Because they drive in the likes of Formula Renault 3.5, GP2 and so forth, they'll be used to cars being a little more squirrely and less in downforce. Apparently, they've lost something like 40% downforce this season, the cars. That just shows you how much effect the likes of the Beam Wing and Commander exhaust had on car pace last season.
Yeah, the battle between Lee.
I thought he'd outwitted Jamie 2003 there, but then Jamie 2003 decides to go through. Lee Kobayashi was brilliant in qualifying. In the race, well, to be fair, his rear brakes failed. But Jamie 2003 wagging off the track and going ahead. This is the last thing Sean wants. He's no idea where the Sauber is.
Interesting now, I've got yellow flags now waving again in the second and third sectors.
So I'm going to defend Kobayashi. He did brilliant pace in qualifying, and his brakes did not work. The rear brakes failed on the car, so it's a bit of a shame, really, because I like the fact that he was able to scrap. The fact that he was racing with Massa, let's not forget, Massa was in the top 10, and the Caterham was in 14. To be able to even get close to a scrap with Massa, despite the fact it ended very quickly and very dangerously, that's not the point. He still showed he's got it in him to be able to get there in the first place. And are you asking if that's biased because the guy's Japanese? The answer is yes. Tom 625 in 9th place, now chasing behind Conor Eisen and the Williams. Prime versus options. It's Tom 625 has definitely got the grip advantage. This is basically the closest track battle I can see so far, so we'll ride with this for the time being. Heading into the end of Sector 1, Tom 625 showed he's got quite a bit of pace, but he's just not been able to string a stint together to really close up on the forerunners. Just never been quite there in terms of the pace overall this race. And I think part of the reason for it, he's pushing too long with his tyre stints.
Yeah, interestingly, Jamie is still lagging out in front. Third race in a row, but lagging quite badly.
It's a problem because the difficulty we've got is being able to sort it out. I mean, we tried everything. We have drivers who've been told not to watch the stream. Sean Bean, if you're listening, knock it off. But then we've also got the likes of people not streaming the races live, people trying to use the minimal router traffic, people not even having their internet browsers open. Oh, I've got a car flying. I just had a Living Dead 69, I think, take off. Currently in P7, he's got Conor Eisen. It was XRL Bernie. Bernie's the host, and he started flying. That's not a good sign.
He's been flying for me since qualifying, so...
First time I've seen it. Oh, and Conor Eisen going over the white lines there again. People keep on pushing too hard. On the stream, Latin Cabal asking, do I think Marussia and Cater will be able to score points? Potentially. A lot of it will depend on reliability. Tracks like Malaysia, tracks like Bahrain, where there's high temperatures, they might be able to sneak into the points, depending on how teams control it. Because, of course, due to ambient temperatures changes in temperature, the turbos can have massive differences in effect. We saw that at tracks like Kailami in South Africa, so it's potentially possible in places like that.
I've got one for you, Swish. Do you reckon that the Caterham or Marussia could get into the Q3 session by the end of the season?
If it's rain affected, possibly, but if it's not rain affected, I highly doubt it. They just don't have the packaging of the bodywork to get enough downforce and grip out of the car. They've gone for a very conservative approach, which gives them a lot of reliability. As Conor Eyes makes a nice move on the inside there, for Lewin 69, but then XRL Fozzie gets all out of shape, backs all forward and up and loses out to Conor Eyes. Conor Eyes has got DRS to pull away from XRL Fozzie and the McLaren, and right now, Lewin 69 is closing up on the back of Fozzie as well. Fozzie in real danger here, but Fozzie is able to hold on as Lewin just not close enough. But getting back to what I was saying, I believe it'd have to be rain affected for those guys to make it into Q3. Never say never though, we've seen giant killer performances like that before. Valtteri Bottas in Canada, for example.
Oh, just that, Force India at Spa in 2008.
Yeah, we have seen it. Meanwhile, Turbo Bobbers is saying that the move was illegal from Conor Eyes there. Note it down, we will review it. I'm not sure exactly what was illegal about it personally, but I was too busy commentating, so I may have missed something. So we'll take a second look at it, no problem. So write that down in my best look around you voice. In the meantime, Tom625 catching up very close to the back of Living Dead 69. Got an excellent turnout on the stream, Flubber. Got a total of 22 of you people watching. Fantastic. Thank you all for tuning in here. And of course, on the stream, Jigsaws is saying you might get your first win because he's not able to race tomorrow. Are you feeling confident for Abu Dhabi?
I've been getting decent pace. I've been managing to keep up with F1 guys for the first couple of stints until I get to Bonham and get my car destroyed by Bollard. So yeah, I've been looking confident.
XRL Fozzie got a great chance on Conor Eyes. DRS assisted move here, getting up the inside, gets the brakes nice and early, keeps on the white lines as far as I can see, and that looks pretty clean to me. So he's got himself back through. Now Conor Eyes is going to have the return fight though here, returning salvo with the DRS, moving close towards the end of sector 3. Triple chicane coming up here. Look at the night sky now, very much an orange hue. We're almost under total night conditions here as we're going to the end of the Twilight Grand Prix. Conor Eyes just not close enough to affect the pass. In P8, XRL Bernie is holding off Tom625 for now. These two guys scrapping at it very aggressively, holding each other off. Now, meanwhile, Jigsaw's saying you might win if you can hold off Jay Pearce.
I've been doing a bit of practice with Jay Pearce. Again, reasonably quick guy. Definitely a contender for the win if I go out. So, but obviously, got to love 12 other drivers, including myself and Jay Pearce, that could all win. So equal performance. Don't expect people such as Motorsport Nerd even getting the win. I know he's a reasonably quick guy. He's definitely up there for third place battle with me.
Tom 65 going off the white lines again at turn 1, extending the track a little bit there. It's something you can't keep doing. It's I guess the problem is Herman Tilke's new circuits. They don't have enough runoff. You know, they give people runoff to be able to get through. And GP2 has now caught to the back of Sean Bean. So let's give it. I don't know if Sean Bean's overtaken him, but this is a battle for first place. Let's ride on board with this. Why not? We've been away from the leaders for quite some time here. On the stream, meanwhile, I will advise that GP3 might be tomorrow night. I don't believe it's going to be streamed live though, because I'm not going to be about. I don't think Dan will be either. Next season, we do hope to have more streamers available. We are unfortunate this season that one of our core streamers who helps out with that has had to give up due to personal issues. But we're hoping that that driver will be back next season, giving us some more of that away. Meanwhile, Jordan says, can you talk to me about practicing with him? Have you arranged some kind of agreement I don't know about?
I don't know about any agreements, but I can definitely do some practice with him if he wants to.
Cool. Well, let's think about that's an interesting question on the screen. Saying, is Stefano Domenicali under pressure? It's a tricky one to read, really, because ever since we've seen the likes of Jean Todt and Ross Brawn move on for Ferrari, they've never quite been strong enough over a whole season. They seem to lose the way with development, and you could argue it's kind of in a similar boat to Martin Whitmarsh, where he's got drivers doing strong results, but with organisations as ruthless as McLaren and Ferrari, they can chop and change in a heartbeat. So I'd say every single principal this season is under pressure, purely because with the change in formula, it's a total unknown. So drivers have got more grip. The top 625 goes around the outside of the chicane in sector 1, and he's got the higher ground going into the end of sector 1 chicane, and he holds it on. Beautiful pass there, but that's going to give the initiative to XRL Bernie, despite how good that move was, because Bernie's now going to have the DRS flap heading out towards the chicane. I'll get back to the current team principals in a moment, viewers. Heading down the main straight here to 200 miles per hour. DRS flap now open on XRL Bernie's car, so if there was a problem with that DRS, it's definitely fixed itself. Heading out towards the chicane, trying to get on the inside. He's got the higher ground there, gets up the inside beautifully. Now, can Tom 625 get cleaner exit and fight back here? He certainly looks pretty good. Pace is solid in the start, but no curse to help him. But DRS, oh, he's not got the flap open. He's the one with the problem now, so he's got to do the old-fashioned way. Heading out towards the chicane, the end of sector 3. He's not giving up. But XRL Bernie's got the position and just kept it in the island there, but lost a lot of speed. Tom 625 to take evasive action because of that. XRL Bernie gets away with it. Right, so moving back to the Tinkerbell's question then. Spalding in the car be under pressure. I believe that he is going to be feeling some of the heat because Ferrari have been expecting a lot. You've had Fernando Alonso, who's been with the Tifosi, and that the reason he was brought was to bring them the title, ever since Schumacher had it for them. You've also got Kimi Räikkönen, a second world champion now, so you've got 2 championship-winning drivers, race-winning drivers. They'll expect the best. So Domenicali's definitely going under pressure. I don't think he's going to feel it as much, though, as whoever the team principal for Lotus is, because they've really gone rudderless. Having lost Eric Boulier, having lost the likes of James Allison, they've really struggled. They're really behind the 8 ball, Lotus, and whoever's got to pick up the mess there is going to really find it difficult. I also think that you're going to see quite a bit of pressure tolling on these team principals in the midfield. People like Manisha Kaltenborn, people like James Key, because this is the season where they're expected to take advantage of the regulation changes and get regularly in the points. And if you're not there in a moment, the pressure will definitely start to toll. DRS problem with Tom 625. He's got the inside line. If you had a DRS problem, it's now corrected itself. Heading through the chicane, both drivers tiptoeing through that. Neither wants to be ahead of the DRS detection line. But XRL Bernie's lost out there because not only was he ahead, he was slow when he was ahead. So Tom 625 pulls clear, has the DRS, and at that point XRL Bernie has been outfought and outclassed. That's another thing I hate about DRS. You see drivers deliberately trying to game each other all the time. It's not fun. But XRL Bernie's not giving up. Look how close he is to Tom 625 through the high-speed section. Evidently got the grip of a real-life Red Bull there. As Tom 625 goes a little wide of entry, but gets it back and just about able to avoid it. Alan Jigsaw's, meanwhile, has made a very curious suggestion. I can see it as a potential. He reckons that Roland Grosjean to McLaren if Jenson Button can't beat Magnussen. I can't see it happening immediately, personally, for one very simple reason. Honda. Jenson Button is extremely popular in Japan, and if the rumours of McLaren getting Sony as one of their sponsors is true, having a driver who's very popular in Japan is going to keep them very, very happy. But for future results, well, Boulier has got a great relationship with Grosjean. We've seen that before. He's definitely got the best out of that driver, and having him at McLaren, no reason why he can't do it.
Definitely Sam Bird, the Mercedes test driver. There's obviously Hamilton and Rosberg, both young drivers, both very quick drivers. I don't see them moving out anytime soon, so Sam Bird might have a better chance of getting in the McLaren seat compared to someone like Grosjean.
I think you're more likely to see Sam Bird racing in Le Mans prototypes than F1 now. I think you're more than likely, like say someone like Brendan Hartley doesn't do very well for Porsche, I can see Sam Bird switching over to that discipline because I think, unfortunately, his ship has sailed. Meanwhile, Lee is saying that Gary Paffett should be given a chance. He's been a reserve driver for too long. Again, his ship has sailed. More than likely, Gary Paffett will be focusing on DTM, maybe World Touring cars. I really can't see Paffett ever driving for McLaren. Curiously, Jordan Kelly's come up with an interesting one. Reckons that he'll see Hamilton back to McLaren, Grosjean to Mercedes, and Valsecchi to Lotus. The only one of them that's possible is Valsecchi, because he's their reserve driver. I really can't see a switch between Hamilton back to McLaren being very likely anytime soon. One thing he hates about McLaren was all the PR work. He couldn't stand it. And he also doesn't like the fact that McLaren keep the original trophies and give you a replica from your races.
I heard a story about when Hamilton won the 2008 British Grand Prix, he actually had to pay McLaren to get him a replica trophy for him to keep.
I've no idea if that's true, but that's really poor treatment of a driver if that's the case. They're the one who've done the effort. It's a driver's trophy. They should keep it. Now XRL Fozzie's got a great chance here, closing up to the back of Boyce. Boyce then got no DRS with the Williams in the Mercedes, and into the first chicane at the end of the DRS sector 1. Fozzie a little light on grip going in there, but he's definitely got the traction to pull out and move forward. We've been a relatively clean race though. There's been a couple of incidents. We've had like 1 or 2 retirements, but nothing too serious. Much improved on what we saw in the train wreck that was the F1 race last night.
Interesting, the 11 Dead 69 is now up into 3rd place with, I think it's MGR1 in 4th.
I didn't catch that on camera, maybe a pit stop related one, but Fozzie is all over the back of Boyce. Boyce has just got no pace in relation to that McLaren. Boyce goes wide at the chicane and hairpin before the hotel section, but he's just able to get around it and get enough power out of the car. But Fozzie's really going to fancy his chances here. Meanwhile, up ahead we've got one of the runners and riders in the pits. I think that might be MGI1.
Interestingly, I've got 1st and 2nd place both lagging extremely badly. Obviously, I had a story about Ferrari, which I will not go into further detail as the...
Oh, mistake from Boyce! He hit the curb! He spun out of turn 1 and damaged his front wing. As a result of that, both Fozzie and Connorized are through, and also Boyce has got no front wing. Absolute disaster there from Boyce. He's cracked under the pressure. Fozzie, applying all the pace in the McLaren, managed to get Boyce out of his way. Boyce is really going to be the big loser here. Limit 69 in P6 now. He's obviously been just about the pits. He's already gone through. Boyce is going to be losing so much time here. Dropping in at turn 1, you're looking at least 2.5 minutes to get back to the pits. That's his race pretty much well and truly over. He might still sneak a point, but he will be slamming the steering wheel in frustration. He completely messed that up. Driver error. Tyres too wide on the curbs, and we've said it before, don't go too far wide or you will be splat out.
Yeah, like I was saying, I've had a lot of problems with cars flying and due to lag, and I've got both 1st and 2nd having the exact same issues.
According to Lee, there might also be a front left puncher as well for Boyce. His race goes from bad to worse. I don't know how long that'll take that to the pitch, but I imagine it'll be quite some time. Connorized looking a little dangerous through the hotel section there. And yeah, we've already got XRL Rusty past Boyce now. Boyce has only just got into sector 3, and yeah, you can see that front left tyre is indeed punctured, so he's got literally no grip at all. He's really struggling. Look how wide he's ended up going there. He's got to be careful. He doesn't get in the way of his Sauber. Oh, Boyce wisely pulls over to the inside there. Good drive from Boyce. Very aware of his issues. Got completely out of the way. He's now down in P9. And he's going to come out behind in 10th place. XRL Bernie. Unbelievable disaster there. He's fighting for a potential podium, Boyce. Now, he'll be lucky if he gets 2 points.
Pit lane wrong as well.
Yeah, you could see how the lack of grip of that front puncher just threw him wide there. So he's really in trouble. Sean Bean, meanwhile, has got a gap of around about 4 seconds on Jamie 2503 at the absolute maximum. But Jamie's really struggling here. Well, that's even where his car is, to be honest. I've no idea. So P1 and 2 looks pretty solid. XRL Fozzie now, because of the incident that happened with Boyce, is up into a net 3rd place. So he's doing a very strong race here, despite the initial initial problems he had due to the qualifying. He's someone who's got a great chance. And then in 4th place still, fighting really, really hard, is Connor Eyes. He's not been lighting up the time screens with pace, but we said it before, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And what Connor Eyes has done is keep his nose clean and get pretty much out of danger. Bloomingdale 69 has done a good job for P5, doing quite well. And in the meantime, MGI1 in 6th is hanging on. Meanwhile, we've got a question from a person called Can't Do JP, asking what's this 12 players together in the championship. This is the Excite Racing League. This is our GP2 division. We host races live every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday and Saturday nights. Not Saturday, sorry, Sunday nights even. We do race divisions from F1 all the way down to GP2. And if you're interested, you can sign up on the forum, get more information by clicking the link, which I'm just going to put up for you now. Also, Excellent Tinkerbell is asking a question saying, is this the last season we see Caterham as Tony Fernandez said he could quit if their results did not improve? I can understand Tony Fernandez's problems and issues with the way it's working, to be honest. Caterham, along with Marussia, both of them have really, really struggled with regards to being able to close up to the cat pack ahead of them. Those teams have been left so far behind. Now, this new season with the more tighter engines, more torque, lower downforce, this gives them the best chance to close the gap to the midfield. For Caterham, someone like Kobayashi or even Ericsson potentially, what they really need to do is try and sneak a point or two. Try and get those weekends where they get the fees paid for by the FIA, relieve some of the pressure. The problem as well is, it's alright Tony Fernandez saying, we're going to quit if you don't improve. But the fact of the matter is, if you've got the lower budgets, you've not got the best engineers, you've not got the best drivers, and you've not got the best facilities, so you can't possibly expect to be up there with the likes of Red Bull. What they really need to do is, for Caterham, they need to hang on really, because there is the F1 budget cap, which is meant to be coming around in the coming years. Now, that could change things dramatically. If the budget cap is something like, say, 80 million, 90 million for the whole field, then it'd be a lot more competitive. I'd expect it to be more like 140, personally. But, again, we don't know. There's no details that surfaced. Unfortunately, the field has actually spun out a bit, so we'll carry on talking about the real-life sport. We try to art emulating life, it seems, here this weekend. Tony Fernandez apparently is not doing a good job, according to Lee, as the owner of QPR, as they recently made a loss of £65 million. Ouch. That's a hit and a half. That's actually almost twice the budget of the Marussia Formula 1 team. Lost.
Yeah, I'd imagine that's just down to the relegation from Premier League football down to the Championship.
I mean, I know nothing about football, so I'll take your word on that one. I know absolutely nothing about it. So in the meantime, while we got a bit of a gap on the field, I'm going to show you a rundown of the fastest laps and the drivers. We've got Sean Me22 out in front for Scuderia Ferrari on a 142.814. Then we've got Jamie2503 for Sauber Ferrari doing very well on a 142.851. So almost nothing between them on ultimate lap pace there. Only 3/100ths of a second. Then we've got XRL Fozzy on a 142.3, really underlining his pace. But then Living Dead 69 for Red Bull, a 141.4, and MGI1 Force India a 141.7. So definitely more pace to be found with regards to these guys at the top. Connor Eisen in P6 on a 143.0, good solid pace from him. And then we've got XRL Rusty also in the Force India team on a 142.5. Kind of hampered by his track position more than anything, so the pace has been there. Tom 625, same story, a 142.7. XRL Bernie, a 141.3, and bizarrely, he's only 6,000ths of a second faster than his teammate, and actually holds the fastest lap, and he's in P9. That's almost like when Timo Glock got the fastest lap when finishing 13th at Valencia in 2009. And then finally we've got Boyce in T10 on a 142.2 in the Mercedes. From pole to 10th. He'll be kicking himself. On the stream, Isle of Jigsaws is asking, is the budget for the whole of the season or just development? This is the thing, Jigsaws, we don't know. I mean, for those of you with the long memories, originally in 2010, there was going to be a 40 million budget where if you agreed to that cap, you'd be able to develop the car as much as you like, but you've only got a limited budget, or you could have no budget cap, but you weren't allowed to do certain things on the car. It turned out the budget cap there wouldn't have worked, simply because the value was far too low. If they make the budget cap decent, like in the region of 100 to 150 million, there's no reason why they can't make it for the whole of the car and the whole of the season. Don't forget the teams don't develop the engines. The only team that will do that is Ferrari, and they'd get dispensation by being a supplier. So I imagine the budget will purely be for the cars and everything else. We don't know what's included, so we don't know if it includes things like the truck staff who drive the trucks out. As XRL Fuzzy makes a mistake going into sector 3 and living there 69 sweeps on through. XRL Fuzzy is off on the podium positions at this moment, but he's very close to the back of living dead 69. Great chance to take it back. On the stream, meanwhile, we've got a question from It's Matty Lee asking who's getting the Xbox One for the next game. I'll be very honest, I'm not buying any of the next games for one console, one game only. There'll need to be a much better catalogue, and F1 needs to make a big leap forward to make it worth considering joining the next generation race for it. As Fozzie goes into the box for his final stop, and he's gone for the option tyres, so he's going to be doing 12 laps on those, quite high. Enema Mr. Indigo sums up the point saying £400 for one game. Klaas meanwhile says no, but he's going to get the Xbox One for Project Cars. I agree, that does look absolutely very, very good. While Axel Tinkerbell simply says no PC. Well, I can understand that argument as well, because the PC is definitely one of the platforms you can stay solid with. We've now got a 3-car scrap on the bottom of the points though. Tom625 in 9th is chasing up behind, I believe that's XRL Bernie in the Red Bull, and then ahead of them by not too far is XRL Rusty in the Force India. The game is on. So we'll stay with the bottom end of the points because these guys are closest at the moment. Give some traffic to the guys at the back. So, Kerr's being deployed there by Tom625. Going to be in the DRS for XRL Bernie, but at the same time, Bernie's more than likely going to have it on Rusty. The Red Bull driver getting very, very close to the back of that Force India. Pulls out the slipstream to the left. Figure diving up the inside here. He's got the track position. Rusty goes on the marbles. Going to lose tons of grip there. And he's going to be under massive pressure as Tom625 dives on the inside. And in 2 corners, Rusty has lost 2 positions. Tom625 DRS flap now wide open. And he's going to have a great chance here towards the end of sector 3, but Bernie is just a little too far ahead. On the stream, Owl Jigsaw saying fair few have extended the track limits. I agree. I commented on this last night's race in the Formula 1 division, and I've seen it here tonight a lot as well. Personally, I blame the fact that these modern circuits simply do not have enough punishment for drivers going off the track. The way to do it is simple. Abrasive runoff, which tears your tyres to shreds for about 20 metres, and then a gravel trap. If it works at the Paul Ricard circuit, why can't we do it everywhere else? I mean, look at that for Tom625. He went so far off the track, he gained a massive, massive gap. What's your opinion, Chris?
Regarding the corner cutting, obviously, last week in India, obviously a lot of corner cutting happened. Not so much from GP2, but obviously a lot from the F1 division. Again, tonight and yesterday, we've seen a lot of corner cutting, 2 races in a row, and especially at a track where you wouldn't really expect corner cutting because the track is quite wide. But again, I'm pretty amazed and pretty surprised, really, that we've seen so much.
Tom625 with Kurz deployed, now it's opened the flap on XRL Bernie. He's definitely going to have a chance down to the first chicane here. Question is, how close into the chicane? Oh, he deliberately got on the anchors. That was almost very dangerous driving there, because if he'd have braked in the wrong position, he could have easily broken the wing of XRL Bernie. Luckily, Bernie saw that, took evasive action, but Tom625 is now going to have the DRS, but he's not activated it. I get the feeling Tom has either got a problem with his DRS or realised that he would have gained an unfair advantage. So, no advantage gained in the end, but a hair-raising moment there for XRL Bernie. On the stream, meanwhile, Lee says, I agree, bring back gravel traps, as does Jigsaw's. Clark reckons they should be deep, and Tilkerbottom says they should be bunker-sized. Well, for me, I mean, the situation is that a Paul Ricard circuit, which the World Endurance cars use as a test track, if you go off, there is runoff, but it's made of abrasive paint, so it actually damages your tyres. So could you imagine your drivers who get away with it in places like Abu Dhabi, places like Bahrain, even the circuit in the Americas you can get away with it. If you go off but you damage your tyres, That for me is a great idea, because then, yes, drivers can stop the car. People aren't going to have accidents by like really serious crashes, but they are going to lose the performance. So unlike last year's India Grand Prix, for instance, where everyone was going wide and saying, oh, but he's slower, it's going to be a case of everyone goes wide, damage the tyres, yeah, we won't do that again. It's Miley is asking, is there a leak for Xbox One when the new game comes out? I imagine there will be, but again, that's one of the big questions, because if the next game is Xbox One PS4 exclusive, there's a big divide in drivers who simply don't want to be getting new consoles. I most certainly don't. I know there are drivers already who've got Xbox One, and they play the likes of Forza 5 on it, but we don't even have a Forza 5 league, despite the Xbox One being owned by a few drivers. So I really don't know what the future's going to be for that.
Personally, I don't expect to be paying out £400 just to get the game.
Sorry, before we carry on in the meantime, Tom625, DRS and Kurz deployed in the second part of the zone there. Gurney went too wide, got a load of marbles all over his tyres. No grip, almost went into the back of Tom625 there, but the Sauber driver is now through. Okay, Chris, carry on.
I think the smartest thing that XRL Bernie could do regarding the league is potentially have a third season on the 2013 game, or even go back to a previous game, such as 2011 or 2012, do one season on there. That way Xbox One should be going down cheaper. More drivers will be able to obviously save up, get the game, get the Xbox One, hopefully a few more games will be developed, and then maybe continue the league from then. At the time I don't see it's really...
XRL Foz is in real trouble now. He's down in P6. Connor is ahead of him. He's on the option tyres, but there's a long way away here. Matty Lee says if there is an Xbox One League, he'd definitely join. Well, as I say, the best thing you can do really is keep an eye on the website. I put the link up there earlier on for Car J, who wanted to take a look at it. We've got all the information there, so if you do want to sign up, just tell me your interest. I imagine if there's enough drivers, there might well be a league. Meanwhile, as I say, I don't think we need to go back to the previous games. I think people are established enough on 2013. But what we do need to do is basically, for Codemasters, they need to sort the game out. Look, Expert Tinkerbell says the game needs to be more realistic with car damage and part failures. As XRL Foster with DRS on the outside of Connor Eyes gets on the brakes very, very late there, rides on the marbles, and Connor Eyes sneaks up the inside as a result of that to keep the position. Ambitious from Fozzie, but just a bit too much. Keeping on with the game though, Tom Roberts says they need to do better connections, better car equalities. Car equality I agree with, that needs to be definitely sorted out. Meantime, Jigsaw says it needs to be nice. It says it's nice corner cuts into chicanes going on. I've seen that before, and unfortunately I've protested it many times on the stream, but until people stop doing it, or until they start getting hit with really dangerous penalties, they're going to keep on doing it. So for me, this is why we should be extremely harsh on corner cutting. I'd definitely be one of these who says you cross the white line, you're breaking the rules. Big shout out to all you people watching though. A massive amount turned out. 26 of you watching tonight. That's brilliant. That's one of the highest I can recall on a GP2 stream. Thank you all for checking this out as we are getting towards the end of the Excite Racing League season. Of course, coming up later on this week, on Wednesday night, we have F5000 being streamed by Dan. That's going to be also here at Abu Dhabi. All divisions this week racing on 100%. Next week, on Sunday evening, we've got the Circuit in the Americas in the United States, where both F1 and GP2, I believe, are going to be 100%. That's on Sunday evening for F1 and Monday evening again for GP2. Next Wednesday, we're going to have the F4 race streamed as XRL Fozzie goes by Connor Eyes on the DRS there, gets a great overspeed to be able to get past into the chicane. Connor Eyes now is going to have a great chance to fight back here. He's deploying his Kurz over the DRS4 activation line. Flat finally goes over, but he lost a little bit of time there because he didn't quite activate it, and that could be the difference between a pass. Indeed, he's not made up enough ground. So Fozzie now has gone, but look at the grip difference that Connor Eyes had in that chicane there. He almost drove clean through it, whereas Fozzie seemed so much more ginger on the accelerator. MGI1 meanwhile was caught to Living Death 69, so let's ride on board, let's battle for third place. MGI1 cutting the final corner, not very good there, and then dives into the final corner and makes it slip and goes off the track. All 4 tyres cross the white line. He's gonna have to give that position back, or that will be a penalty, because that will be an illegal overtake. Living Death 69 though has not been let through by the next corner. MGI1 has got to let him through, or at that point he is going to get a penalty. Living Death 69 also extending the track there, but that for me was an illegal overtake, as once again Living Death 69 goes through the chicane. People are doing it so easy. Miley asking what my opinion on Valtteri Bottas was in real life. Personally, I think he's a real star. Last season he showed his talent when he not only got third in Canada, but did superb driving in both Austin, Texas and in Interlagos, Brazil. Really showed the underlying talent there. This season, he's got a great car, which is always absolutely excellent. What I really liked as well is his ability to actually race. Started in P15, fought his way through. The only thing was the fact that he overdrove the car and punctured the tyre. That for me lost him a few critical points, but he's definitely showed he's capable of a bit of battling here, and he's got the car capable of battling, so don't be surprised if Bottas gets a few podiums this season.
A few podiums, so I can imagine him also challenging for the win if Williams get the performance better than the Mercedes works car.
Yeah, I mean, that Mercedes works car looks absolutely bulletproof at the moment. It looks so much more advanced. But again, we've seen this before. Cars can look like they've got a big advantage and then out of nowhere suddenly not have anything later in the season. Look at Braun GP in 2009. Won 6 out of 7 races and it looked like they were going to dominate the championship. Next thing, didn't get a victory till Monza and didn't get any victories after that. On the stream, meanwhile, Lee is asking for a shout out for the Classics race. Of course, that is happening this Thursday evening, and it is going to be the final race. That one's going to be at Australia for Melbourne, I believe, the final one. So that'll take place Thursday evening. That's also being streamed to my knowledge for the 90s. Make you all aware as well, if you are interested, on the forum we are doing a sign up for a DTM league as a mistake has been made by, is that Living Dead? Here it is, he's lost his front wing. Living Dead 69 somehow lost his front wing and got a puncture, so he's off the podium. But carrying on with what I was plugging there, for those of you driving Forza 4, we are doing a DTM league, which is starting not this Thursday, but the Thursday after. So go until the end of this week. If you're interested in racing, go to the forum, exciteracingleague.com, and if you want to sign up to the forum, table your interest, we'll be very happy. Also, coincidentally, the final race is Japan. Okay, maybe I got that wrong. But good place to finish, Japan. It's always been a classic season finale.
The championship in the 90s race is a very close one. 4 points between F1 and ODS. Nige is currently leading with 4 points. Possibilities that Nige may not be racing due to work commitments, but also to win the championship, XRL LGS needs to get at least, well, he needs a win, and for Nige to get 3rd or below, otherwise the championship's Nige.
Yeah, so it's got all to play for, but it's nice to have the championship go into the final race. So again, that's going to be live here on Thursday evening at 8 o'clock as well. All races brought to you by GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. And again, if you are interested in racing on Forza 4, go to the forum. There's a Forza 4, Forza 5 sub-forum. We are still accepting sign-ups for the DTM races if you want to have a bit of a laugh there. Now, in the meantime, though, we've got a bit of a free car scrap with Living Death 69. Oh, you've got to be careful there, XRL Bernie. He nearly sideswiped in there when he was rejoining the track, but Bernie managed to avoid him. So, all of a sudden now, the Living Death 69 threw away it. According to Lee, and I agree with him on this, it looked like he went straight through the advertising boards and lost the front wing. Bit of a surprise.
It looks like it might not just be the bollards that are causing problems, but also the advertising board.
Well, the whole game's causing a headache for quite a few drivers sometimes, it has to be said. Now we've got XRL Bernie closing up on the back of Tom 625. Battle for 6th place here. Looks like the reasonably most close on track, but Bernie's not yet in the DRS detection zone. He needs to get things moving. So let's see how close. No DRS here, but he's got a lot of his curves saved, and that might give him a chance to close up here. But Tom 69 just seems to have better pace here. Bernie seems to be making more mistakes. Henry Mr. Indigo talking about how the Xbox One controller triggers are more flexible so they're able to control the panel. I actually don't like the Xbox One controller. I really don't like it. I think that it's been narrowed too much, so it's not as easy to fit in the palm to me. I do like the triggers though, and I especially like the fact that the Xbox One triggers actually vibrate and give feedback. When I was messing around on Forza 5, I like the fact that I could feel the wheel spin getting further in my hand, and I reckon once mastered, you could really use that to get some significant gains on your lap time, so big points for that. But overall, I really don't like the new pads on the Xbox One, and I certainly don't like the price for them. They retail at £50. I just don't understand that.
Not only that, you have to buy a different headset for the Xbox One compared to 360. As Microsoft have done the cunning thing and built a different end of the controller so that only one type of headset can go on it. So Turtle Beaches are now a thing of the past.
That's just pathetic because everyone loves Turtle Beaches. You know, they're so good for, especially if you've got the right stereo equipment feeding, you can really have some excellent fun playing on those games. I mean, I'm not a first-person shooter player. I don't really like them, but I know a lot of people love them because of just how much you can hear and how much you interact with your environment. It's a real pity. Meanwhile, Lee's made a very fair point about the F1 season because Matthew Lee was saying he was looking forward to the Russian Grand Prix, but Lee says if Russia keeps misbehaving in the Crimea, the race might not take place. Well, there was threats to the Winter Paralympics in Sochi because, of course, the Winter Olympics had just ended before this all kicked off, and the Paralympics was just due to start, and a load of world leaders were boycotting it, and there was threats to teams and everything else. So if this happens, you know, anything's possible. And Jigsaw's, while Russia might be ages away, remember Bahrain in 2011? That was ages away and it still didn't happen, even though it was scheduled to take place twice in the season.
I think no final decision can be made until at least July, August time, and it gets closer to it.
Well, I mean, no decision can yet be made because the situation now, of course, is because the Crimeans had that decision to break away from the Ukraine. That whole area is now going through a lot of instability because there's Connery's completely missing the chicane lines here. Unacceptable driving. You've got to stick in the lines. It's absolutely nonsense. And in the meantime, we've just got to say that going back to the whole Russia and the Crimea thing, because they've now decided that they want to secess away from the Ukraine, a lot of Western governments are calling the whole thing illegal, and they're talking about sanctions and everything else. So, you know, could you imagine like Russia trying to use the teams from all over the world as like some kind of political chess players? I can. Boyce, meanwhile, I think has gone for the fastest lap. He's gone into the pits and he's put on a fresh set of options with 3 laps to go. Well, why not?
The only thing you can do, seeing that he's in last place.
Indeed. Just call me Mr. Remco is saying he doubts they'll make F1 a political issue. Again, Bahrain for you. When they first went back to Bahrain in 2012, the Bahraini government had this horrible, like, pro-propaganda piece of advertising which had unified with the F and I as F1. But the thing what I find curious about that, though, this is the interesting thing, a bit of double standards as far as I'm concerned, as XRL Bernie has got XRL Rusty all over him. In fact, I think he's just got past Rusty, possibly. Let's keep an eye on these two, because they're very close on track. Going back to like the whole double standards of Bahrain, though, Bahrain, they said boycott F1, you know, they're enforcing civil rights and everything else, yet nothing was said about the World Endurance Championship finale taking place after F1 had been there, after the clashes got worse. Nothing was said about the likes of Audi and Toyota battling in the Le Mans cars. On the stream, meanwhile, LV has correctly pointed out that F1 raced in South Africa during apartheid. They did indeed, and they raced in Bahrain during the political unrest. That too, exactly. So Sochi could definitely still go ahead, but there's the question of will it be this year? Will it be parked off for a year? We don't know. On the stream, we'll think about says, is there any places left in any of the leagues? If you sign up, there are still social races. next season there is going to be a 6th division. So there is definitely possibility. If you want any more information, if you're on Xbox Live, you can send a private message to XRL Bernie, or if you go on the forum, you can go to the new introductions thread, write a bit about yourself, and then obviously we'll be able to give you some more information there. Just sign up and take a look. Jigsaws, thanks for putting the link up. Matty Lee, meanwhile, is asking, will there be penalties for corner cutting? Well, I'd love to see penalties for corner cutting, but as last week, all they got was a point on the XRL driving licence, which is fine if you committed prior offences like Ice Cold Andy did, but if you've not got those prior offences, it doesn't affect you. So, you know, it's like, I don't know what's going to happen, but there's been a lot of corner cutting this weekend, and I've really not been impressed by it. I just can't wait to get back to a classic track. XRL Bernie got past Rusty and went very wide during the chicane, but then Rusty's gone off at the next point, so Bernie's back through. These guys just don't seem to want to get out of each other's way. No one wants to win. And so Tinkerbell's just signed up, so awesome. I think your account might need to get activated by Dan Fisk. I'm not sure about that one, so keep an eye on that one. You may get an email saying your account's active. If it is, pause delay. If it's not, just keep an eye out for it in the next day or two. And also, Dan will be able to get the potential of this as well to say you signed up, so awesome there. Meanwhile, in the pits, is that Windows 69 who's just gone in P7? No, it's Tom 625, and he's got lag in the pits. He was trying to. The jack went down, his car stuck and won't move. He actually got lag in the pit lane. Disaster. As Living Dead 69's now gone through, XRL Rusty all over the back of XRL Bernie. We're into the penultimate lap as Bernie's gone totally wide at that chicane. Evidently stayed out for too long on these prime tyres. The grip has gone, but XRL Rusty may well have the same problem with his options. Living Dead 69 is able to move things forward. Now, on the stream, Mr. Indigo thinks that Texas shouldn't be too bad for corner cuts. I disagree. The opening hairpin's easy to cut. The hairpin before the DRS zone's easy to cut. Living Dead 69 makes a very late move on Bernie, taps him and almost spins him round, misses the chicane, and he stops to let Bernie back through. Evidently, on the stream as well, Lee reckons there will be no corner cutting in Brazil. Potential for corner extensions though, because you've got turn 4 and 5, you've got the big runoff there, you've got the big runoff at 6 and 7, you've also got the big runoff just before John Cow. So there's potential for extensions there, that's another problem. But evidently after 2 races of corner cutting from our top 2 divisions, it's going to have to start getting serious. And for me, it's going to have to literally be time penalties and bans, because evidently points on licences is not cutting it. People are not learning.
I've seen XRL Bernie go off the track on the penultimate lap. Sean Bean is halfway through the final lap of this race, along with Jamie2503.
Yeah, I mean, you've got XRL Fozzie in P4, trying to chase down MGI1, but he's just too far behind that Force India. So Jamie2503 is just going through the chicane, but Sean Bean will ride on board as he goes underneath the hotel. He's had a quiet race. He's had one incident here between himself and Boyce, but he's managed to recover, drove well within the tyres, completely controlled the pace out front, and once again shows just why he's one of the strongest drivers and wins at the Abu Dhabi circuit. Meanwhile, Jamie2503, despite his lag issues, despite the fact that he seemed to struggle up in close combat, he's done a solid enough to be able to hang on and maintain a well-deserved second place. On the podium, with MGI1 in the Force India, desperately trying to get his way around. He's got XRL Fozzie about 2 seconds adrift. All MGI1's got to do is keep him within the lines and not make any mistakes here, avoiding these final curves so he doesn't get spat out. And he manages to just do that to come home third, while we've got also 4th place going to the XRL Fozzie, and Connor Ives hanging on for a beautiful 5th place. XRL Rusty in 6th has done a very good job, and the Living Dead 69 has recovered well to finish 7th after losing his wing. Tom 625 under pressure actually, because he's still got XRL Bernie behind him, but Bernie is really he's struggling with his tyre wear, and actually, I'm the Boist is right behind him. Boist might gain an unexpected extra point here, because despite the incident which caused his wing failure, he's going to be able to make a move here. He's going to go around the outside. Managed to find the grip there, but it's gone off the track. He's going to have to let Bernie back through, or he's going to get a penalty. And he's not letting Bernie back through. He completed that move off the track. This is definitely an illegal overtake. So, while he finishes there, he's no doubt going to be bumped down to 10th place because of a penalty. Well, let's get these guys in here.
Yep, definitely.
On the stream, Sean being called a cheat by Lee because he had the stream open. Meanwhile, Matty Lee saying that XRL F1 driver, and this is a really terrible track for corner cuts, and I agree. I hate these modern circuits. These modern sanitised turn and soaker circuits are pathetic. I absolutely hate them, and for me, I would ban them. Now, we've got a point there about Fozzie, so we'll see. All these things will be reviewed. Evidently, we don't want to be making any changes until it goes on. Have we got everybody else in here at the moment? Yeah, we have. So, Sean, we'll start with you. You seem to have a bit of trouble early on when you and boys came close together, but after that, you seem to pretty much have the pace in hand. How was it for you out there tonight?
It was, well, at the start of it was quite painful. My back is killing me now. The first stint I was very tentative because of the high fuel. I haven't really done much high fuel practice, so I was very tentative into the braking zones. I didn't want to outbrake myself and go off wide, which is why I was sort of holding people up, and then I had that side pod glitch. But after the first pit stop, the fuel level started to drop. I could sort of get to grips with the car, set some good lap times and catch up to the ground, and it worked out well for me.
Excellent pace there. So obviously had a little bit of recon in the F1 division last night. I mean, this obviously gives you a great chance moving forward to Austin, Texas. Do you reckon you got a chance there to follow up with another victory?
I won't be racing at Austin, I'm afraid. I have mock exams that week, so I'll be back in Brazil.
Well, the other drivers can breathe a sigh of relief there. But no doubt Brazil will be one of the tracks where you've got a lot of pace, so we'll look forward to seeing you there. Fantastic. Jamie, we'll go to you in the meantime then. We did see quite a lot of lag from your car, and it made it quite difficult in this process. But overall, you seem to have one of those races that was strong and quiet. Would you agree that's how it was?
Yeah, I had a strong ball. It was a good quality lap that I had, so I was strong at the start. Sean got a really good start, so I was down in fourth, and then I managed to get myself up into third, and then that incident happened with Sean and Boyce, so granted the lead. I collided with Fozzie later on with a side pod glitch, and lag was a bit of a problem tonight, but you know, managed to get there in second place. Isn't too bad.
Excellent, thank you very much there for your comments. We'll go on to you then, MJI. A race where you seem to be up and down the field quite a lot with regards to where your pit stops fed you out into traffic. Were you concerned at one point that a podium might be beyond your grasp?
Well, I thought I was never going to catch a living dead, to be honest with you, but then gradually as the laps went by, like, I could tell that he was struggling, and I could capitalise, and then made a few mistakes, and I overtook him, and so to be honest with you, I never really expected to get a podium in this race. I thought it was going to be like near the bottom of the end, but I'm really pleased to get on the podium.
Excellent stuff there. Well, congratulations to our drivers. Of course, all results are provisional for five days, while any stewards' reviews are ongoing there. But for now, enjoy the moment, savour the finish that you've had to the race. All you people who've watched tonight, massive thank you for all you tuning in here. Coverage again, of course, brought to you by GT Omega Racing and GamePod.co.uk. Next stream now will be active on Wednesday when you've got Dan Fisk in the box. He'll be covering the F5000 division, and then also we've got the Classics race, final one for them on Thursday evening, which is at Japan, and then of course on Sunday night you'll have myself and Dan Fisk back, and we'll be covering the F1 division from Austin, Texas, as we leave the Asia leg and enter the final round of this season. Until then, thank you all very much for watching, and good night.